Welcome to Rossman Radio, the podcast where we dive deep into the journeys of entrepreneurs, founders, and e-commerce brands that are breaking through the noise and scaling like never before. I'm Elise, and Rossman Media is a trend-forward social media agency specializing in going viral and delivering 10x returns for the brands that we work with. Each week, I'll sit down with industry disruptors to talk about the highs, the lows, and the exact strategies that help them grow from their first sale to multi-million-dollar milestones. If you're ready to unlock what it really takes to win on social, build a community, and multiply your revenue, then you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Rossman Radio. You're here with Elise and Tracy Johanson, owner of
3 Cents Foods.
We're so excited to chat with you today. I've personally tried both of her sauces, the vegan and non-vegan version, and some that are in testing, and I can say that they're absolutely incredible. I'm not blowing smoke. We had one jar go in 2 days in our household, and I have photos to prove it. So welcome. I'm so just overwhelmed by your story. The first time talking to you, I know we've chatted a lot since then, but you have quite the story, your mission behind this whole brand, what you've done, how you've involved your kids. We're going to get into it all. If you are a woman business owner or wanting to get into business and not knowing where to start, look no farther because you're going to hear it all today. So welcome, Tracy.
Thank you. That was a wonderful introduction.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
I'm really honored. I've really enjoyed our conversations this far, and I'm so excited about this interview.
Oh, same. So what inspired you? I mean, I personally know, but tell our listeners what really inspired you and your sons to start 3 Cents Foods.
It was actually my middle son, Luke. When he was 5 turning 6, he got really into rhino conservation. So instead of asking his friends to bring toys for his birthday parties, he's like, hey, everybody, can you please bring donations to stop the illegal poaching of rhinos in lieu of gifts to my birthday parties? And so we did. Every year we would have these fundraising birthday parties, and we would, raise more and more and more money for rhino conservation. To stop the illegal poaching of rhinos. And at the same time, I had a creamy cilantro sauce that we call salsa de Diablo Verde. I'd make it at home for fish tacos. We'd give it away to teachers and neighbors at Christmas time as gifts. And so about 5 years into his fundraising birthday parties, we merged the two passions, my love of food, his love of animals, and we started 3 Cents Foods.
Wow. And where is he now?
So now he's a sophomore at Texas State. And they all three still work in the business, but all 3 boys are, following their university degrees.
Good. That's awesome. Love to hear it. Now, how did you balance the roles of being a mom and a business owner, especially with your sons and managing all of that? I know that for anyone that's listening that might have like the pipe dream of, oh my gosh, it would be so fun to own my own business, but how will I do that? Plus the cleaning, the cooking, plus chasing around littles. Like, how did you do it? Because it sounds like they were pretty young when this idea came about.
Yeah, when we started our company, George was 9 years old, Luke was 11, and Aiden was 13. And they were very involved in sports and theater and church choir and the whole 9 yards. So and then I recently, right after we started this business, I became a single mom. So it was, it was a difficult time or a challenge. I'll just say challenging time. It wasn't, it was difficult, whatever. I was going through a divorce. But
yeah, you can be real. We get it.
But I mean, really, the business and the family are intertwined. So the values of the family feed into the values of the business. And we believe in respecting others. We believe in having a great work ethic, and a family business is almost very similar to how a family farming, a farm family runs their household. There is no 9 to 5, 8 to 5 or whatever. At 5 p.m., the work doesn't stop. So, we all pitch in and help each other. maybe Luke is out in the warehouse, fulfilling e-com orders, and I'm answering emails, and George is in the kitchen, cooking dinner, and Aiden took the dogs for a walk. But we're all working together to get everything done and completed. And, we want to make sure that, one thing, doing a family business, you have to get really great at communication. So, while the boys are being raised, we're trying to build this team, Three Sons Foods, and we had to get real with coming to each other as equals, and communication, and really great at saying, I'm sorry. It's a balancing act. You want to respect everybody's opinion. But definitely there is the mom of the family that's still in charge. And then there's also the CEO that's still in charge, right? So there is not a hierarchy, but there is somebody that's in charge of this group, whether it's me as a mom or me as the CEO.
Wow. I mean, that's incredible. Definitely not for the weak. So that's pretty impressive. And I definitely think that it sounds like a beautiful mix of rewarding and challenging at the same time. And I love what you said about learning how to say sorry and really looking at each other as equals. I think you're doing something that moms really dream of, but don't know how to get started. And the fact that you did it at such a young age, I mean, how beautiful that your kids got to learn the mechanics of a business instead of like watching something on an iPad. It's just like, and no judgment to those that do that, because I know it's, as a mom myself, it's definitely helpful, but that's the greatest gift you could give to them in showing them that level of leadership. I mean, I bet that's like a school can't teach that.
No, you're right. And, in the beginning, everyone would say, oh my gosh, your kids are going to learn so much about business. But I think what they've learned, of course, they've learned the ins and outs of business. But what I have now in front of me is 3 really young adults that have the audacity to believe that what they want to achieve with hard work and perseverance, they can. And, they've seen, they've in a business, it's not always roses, right?
Yeah.
They've witnessed the thorns. They've witnessed me getting my, kicked in the gut, per se. And they've seen how I've handled that, or we've handled that as a business, and how we've had to pivot through COVID, through, now we've got our own challenges with, things that are going on in the government and things like that. And, they're seeing us always pivoting and always trying new things, and also going back to what makes sense. So yeah, I do find that they have this great positive attitude of just believing that they can.
That's the best thing you can give to your kids, because a lot of people grow up not really having like grit and that overall courage until like way later in life. They almost have to like go into their own careers and fall on their own faces and realize it at like 30, oh, this is how I get back up, versus teaching them that at 11 years old. So kudos to you, and that's great. What are some challenges you guys are having like on like the marketing side of things, if there are any?
Yeah, we do have challenges right now. I think it's always, you're always constantly, we built our business really like through a grassroots effort, like lots of salsa contests, lots of farmers markets, lots of getting out there and doing in-store demos. Social media, we have tried so many different things with social media. And it's, digital marketing really didn't work out for us, and that was expensive, right? And so, but you do, in a business, you try something, and, one thing, you try something and it costs money to try something. So you have to research it as much as you can. But yeah, some things haven't worked out, but we do have our tried and true things that do work out.
That's
and
great.
That we continue to go back to, and connecting with that customer. having passion for what you do and really showing, like telling your story quickly, getting to the point because people are super busy, but
Yeah.
having passion for what you do and also having passion for bringing benefit to the consumer. That is, people will always resonate with that.
Yeah.
If I can show you how I can make your life better.
And the only way that you're going to be successful on social media doing that is through your content. So if it's not like something that's genuine, especially with a food product, because they can't taste it through a screen. So you have to appeal to them emotionally and make them feel something with what you're saying. You have to do it within 3 seconds to get them to even stop scrolling. So I can only imagine how difficult that process could have been, because unless someone really knows what they're doing and giving you that creative direction, they're just going to create, like, slap your photo of your salsas and your creams on a video or on a photo and say, this is great. And someone's gonna be like, okay, cool. Like, not even remember what they saw as they scroll by.
Yeah.
So what you just mentioned is, it's important, especially when we get brands that have such unique stories, and not everyone does, right? There's a lot of sauce companies, there's a lot of salsa companies, there's a lot of food companies out there, but not every single one has a unique story, or is even giving back, or is even, and not even saying you have to have that, but if you do, it's kind of like what you just said, creating that, what you guys are able to create in person when you're at the food tasting events or at the shows, or at salsa competitions, creating that, like, connection that you're able to make there one-on-one where they're successful. And how can you create that online, right? And that's where, like, finding the right partner, making sure that someone's going to be able to see you through that lens so that they can share that with the public. And it's hard. And there's a lot of agencies out there that will say, yeah, like, we can do it. Like, we'll sell everything for you and you'll sell out.
Yes.
But the truth is, now content creation is the number one part of your marketing campaign. You can definitely have tons of followers and lots of, social media ads, but if you don't have good content, then it's going to flop. And the money that you're putting behind it is almost kind of wasted unless you care about brand awareness, which is also great. But when you're trying to get sales, you really need each piece of marketing dollar to go towards a sale.
Right. And ours is we have, so many people say, oh my gosh, you have a great story. So, you have a mom and 3 sons. And then on top of that, it's a family business. It's purpose driven. We donate to rhino conservation, wolf conservation, and soon to be ocean cleanup. But then the actual product is a salsa that doubles as the ultimate cooking sauce. So there's so many things to say about us that it's like, it's almost too much. And to kind of narrow that down into a tight elevator speech. I mean, we've done it great, but we have a great elevator speech, but it is hard when I work with a marketing company. They go, what? I'm like, and to be quite honest, now we focus on, this is the salsa and this is how it's going to make your life better. And we don't so much talk so much about the animal conservation or the mom and the 3 boys. It's more about how our salsa can make your life better.
So tell me some of your favorite ways of how you use it.
Okay, so I love Diablo Verde. Like the other night I had first of all, shredded chicken. I'll take the vegan and make shredded chicken with it, or shredded pork. I love the vegan on my eggs. I love the Verde on our baked salmon. Baked salmon is my favorite recipe. I'll bake a fillet of salmon at 350 for about 15 minutes. Take it out of the oven, pour Diablo on top, stick it back in for 5 minutes just to heat it up. Serve it with rice and a side salad. And then I also use Diablo as a salad dressing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I used the Diablo vegan on my eggs this morning, actually. And it was incredible. Like, so I'm like, trying to watch the diet these days, but I make, 2 pieces of toast with an egg on each. That's my breakfast every morning. My trainer said, if I do this, it will work. So I listened to him. Anyways, I normally just put sriracha or something on it, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this sauce. We're having our interview today. I'm going to do this morning, and I'm just going to get in the spirit of Diablo. And so I put it on my eggs, I went back for a third piece of toast. I think it's because of the sauce. Like I literally got rid of the two and I was like, this is so good. And with eggs. And I was like, I need to have another piece. Like that just wasn't enough. I'm going to put more sauce on it this time. So I can definitely speak to how good it is. And the salmon idea is a great one. I'm going to definitely put that into my weekly roundup. And I'm not just saying that. We have salmon at least once a week. So
It's so good.
it's the best. Okay, so it doubles as a sauce. You can also use it with a chip. I can definitely attest to that one. What are some other creative ways that you have used it?
Enchiladas. And then we also George and I do a lot of grain. George is the youngest and he's the one that's about to go to UT. So he's the only one here. So we do a lot of grain bowls, but we dab the sauce right in the middle. So you'll have, some lima bean kind of thing or black beans and corn and, some fancy grain rice or whatever. And then you just put the Diablo in the middle and it just kind of adds to the flavor, like some nice roasted vegetables. So I'll roast the vegetables. I'll put all the vegetables in a bowl and just kind of cover the vegetables with the salsa, either if it's vegan or verde, and just bake that at 350 for about 10 minutes. And then that way it's almost like they're just heated up.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah. That's really good. Of course, enchiladas. And because as a woman, you always have to take a casserole over to somebody's house, I'll make 3 bunches of enchiladas and I layer them because I don't have time to roll things. They're going to go down the same. So I layer it and I always have 1 layer of vegetables just to make it healthier.
Yeah.
And then, and the sauce I use on each layer. And then you can freeze that. And then next time somebody passes away or somebody's sick or has a baby, you've got one in the freezer.
Wow. That is you're like pre-thinking, being thoughtful. I love it.
I am.
Pre-thinking, thoughtful. That is just, we need more of that in this world. Wow. Okay. Great idea. I can't wait. I actually didn't know what to do for dinner tonight. And now I think I might do that layered enchilada casserole type vibes. That sounds delicious. I also noticed that the sauce is so versatile. I had a girlfriend use it for pasta, like a pasta sauce. And it definitely is very, there's a lot of different ways you can use it. So I'm excited. So what's on the horizon?
Diablo Rojo. So we're looking right now. We've done our second batch. It's really good. So now I've just kind of finalized the recipe and send it off to, to the lab to get testing done, nutritionals. Our label is done, but we need this right here. We need an organization that wants some money. So we'll donate 5% of the proceeds to an ocean, like a nonprofit that's cleaning up the oceans. That's what we want to find. So that's a task. Since it's George's passion, George's needs to find a organization that we can donate to. So yeah. So
George,
we're excited about that. Graduate from high school and get back to work, honey.
No, literally. That's awesome. Okay, well, before I let you go, what would you say? Okay, this is definitely a loaded question, so feel free to elaborate. But reflecting on your entrepreneurial journey, what lessons have you learned, and what would you like to share of those lessons, or maybe some friendly advice?
I have 2 things. The first one, you're going to hear this a lot. Believe in yourself. Definitely believe in yourself. There's going to be naysayers, family, well-intentioned friends, people. And sometimes it's coming from a place of fear, like they would never take the leap into being an entrepreneur. And so they fear for you. Sometimes it's, it could be jealousy, whatever. Just, don't let the naysayers, especially where we live, there is a whole aisle of salsa. So for us to come out with a salsa, one of the buyers from, I won't mention what store, but one of the large chain grocery stores said to me, everybody in the state of Texas has a pot and a spoon and think that they can make salsa, right? So we went into a very crowded space and brought in something new and different that hasn't been done before. So don't just let's say it hasn't been done before, you can do it. Let's say it has been done before, you want to do it better. Who would have thought taxis would be now Ubers? You know what I mean? Like, why don't we ever call a taxi anymore? We all call Uber.
The taxis are gone.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, we don't know what happened to them, but someone came in, had a bright idea. Nobody would have thought, so you never know. So don't let the naysayers get you. Okay. So be your own like best friend. Now, speaking of friends, duct tape and shovel friends. You need duct tape and shovel friends. Definitely. Those are the people that you trust. Those are the people that you are like, hey, here's $1 million. I'll be back in a year. Can you hold on to this for me? Those are the people that like believe in you. They're a cheerleader for you. When you lose focus, when you get scared, when you hit the bottom, whatever happens, they lift you back up and go, hey, remember who you are. Remember what you're made out of. Get back in that ring, And they're also the friends that you go, I need help. And they're like, here, I showed up with the shovel and the duct tape. What are we doing?
Yeah.
We might just be loading a pallet, but so leave the shovel. Maybe the duct tape might not help, but you need those friends. And, make sure you probably have great friends now. Make sure that
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because there's friends, and like in the English language, we don't have a lot of words, there's friend or best friend. But there's definitely, we all kind of rank our friends. Like these are friends that maybe I'll go and have a glass of wine with. These are friends that are family friends,
Oh
so,
yeah.
yeah,
To me, they're either your family or you're my friend, and there's different buckets. But you start to learn the older you get how people show up when you start experiencing those types of situations. And you start to learn really quickly who's actually going to show up with the shovel and show up with the duct tape, or who's going to kind of make the hard time harder. And it's crazy how that happens. And sometimes it's the closest people to you that will surprise you and will make a difficult time either about them or more difficult or whatever it is. But luckily, it sounds like you're blessed. I'm blessed as well. I have some incredible friends that show up. And I think that is really important in business too, because those will be the people that are the first to order whatever it is you're making, even if they don't need it,
Yeah. And they'll give it to their friends and they'll support you. And
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I've been very blessed. Yeah. God's blessed me with good boys and really great friends. So yeah. Okay. So speaking of being blessed, I wanted to bless your viewers with Rossman Radio coupon code for 20% off at our website, Rossman Radio, ROSSMAN Radio, RADIO. And that's 20% on our website, 3sonsfoods.com for any of our products.
Thank you so much. You're so generous. I'm so excited. I hope that everyone gets to enjoy this product. It's not only a very good tasting sauce/salsa, but also incredibly owned by an incredible woman and a great company. So I'm excited to see where you go. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're so welcome.